There's a lot of you guys out there that are still wondering just how accurate and close to real golf is the Garmin Approach R10 when you use it indoors as a simulator. Let's find out today. Hey everybody, welcome back to Golf Test Dummy, the channel where I use my game to help your game. If you can't see my shirt and be able to glean what's going on out here in this garage, let me just go ahead and tell you, it is absolutely roasting out here in this sweat box. I've got no fan turned on because it interferes with the mic, and I don't want to have any kind of interference like that so I can make the best quality videos possible for you guys. And we all know that my stuff is super high production. But today I'm going to be taking the Garmin Approach R10 device. It is a relatively inexpensive device compared to other launch monitors / golf simulators. There's some people that question the validity of it and they question the accuracy. We're going to play a few holes. We'll see the overall course, just how it plays. Does this club match up? Does that rollout look right? Let's get started. Guys, real quick before I get into this video, if you would like to start building your own home simulator, I've got a link down below for Shop Indoor Golf. You click that, you go through, you use my code, and you'll get some money off. It will save you a little bit of money. There's also a discount code for Bionic gloves. There's also a link to sundaygolf.com, and there's amazon.com in that. Be sure to check out those links. Save yourself a little cash. Also, there's the new Super Thanks button down below. It's a way to say thanks for the tip. Here's a tip. All right, guys, so on the E6 Connect, I've got pulled up Banff Springs, B-A-N-F-F, that it is 4,600 feet above sea level, meaning that my shots should fly just a little bit further than usual. Here in North Carolina, where I am, we're only about 400 to 500 feet above sea level. It should give me a little more distance. We're going to test that. Good strike. That's a good way to start. And it looks like it's going to roll out to just over 260 yards right down the middle of the fairway. Now this is a good way to start. As I mentioned before, I'm 4,600 feet above sea level, meaning that it's probably going to play a half a club to a full club longer, maybe. We'll find out, but I've got 140 yards left into this green. I do not want to be long. The pin is cut in the back. So if I go past it, I'm going to be short-sided, and you do not want a short chip on this game. Short chips on here are really, really tough to get close to the hole. So I want to end up underneath this hole, and I know that if I hit my 9-iron, I'm probably going to be too deep. So we're going to pull out the pitching wedge, and if I leave it a little bit short, that's fine, but I might have a good chance of getting back toward it on this hole. I'm in the middle of the fairway. Let's find out if it's accurate. Wow, that's pretty good. That leaves me 17 feet away, pretty close to right at it. 2 putts left me with a par on that hole. There is no putting on this simulator. It does a really, really good job at being fair to you on putts. It will give you some 1 putts. A lot of them are going to be 2 putts, and then there are the occasional 3 putts. So it's really, really accurate with that. Plus, there are settings in E6 where you can change those things up. And if you get onto a hot streak to where you're hitting every fairway and every green, it will give you more 1 putts as if you've kind of caught fire, like in the old NBA Jam game. All right, on this next hole, it shows 165 to the pin. The pin is cut a little bit on the right and toward the rear. So right or long is pretty dead. I want to be a little short or a little bit left if I miss. This should be a fairly stock 8-iron for me on this par 3. Oh, and I pulled it. Oh no! I think we're going to be on the green though. Great distance. I just pulled it, but that is a much better miss than being long or right. Now it gave me a 3-putt because I was quite a ways off from the hole. I left myself about a 36-footer. Now for me personally, would I have 3-putted there? It's possible. I don't 3-putt a lot on course, but it is certainly possible. So again, it's being completely fair with the putts. Maybe I'll miss a few greens here and there and we'll get to see some of the short game. I really want to show you that. This next hole is going to be a relatively short par 5, 458 yards. It's a fairly wide fairway, but there are some bunkers on the left that I need to carry. We're going to hit the driver here, see if I can get home in 2. pretty good drive. Not the best contact, but a good line. Right where I was aiming. Yeah, we might have a chance of getting home at 2 here. That's 254. Not too shabby. I've got 210. It rises from the position I am about 5 feet in elevation. Again, that's not very much. It's not going to affect it. I want to hit a 5-iron here. I've aimed just a touch left of that flag because there's some trees on the right side that are kind of encroaching on my line. Let's see if we can strike it pure and leave ourselves a little chip. Oh no! That's way right. Oh my God. Well, that part's just like real golf. I blasted that so far right. It hit some trees, came down. It's showing that my lie is rough. It looks like rocks and moss over here. There are trees everywhere. There's really not much I can do here. If this were the real world and you were playing golf and you saw this, you'd probably just try and punch it down the hill to some kind of opening and just try and get back out to where you didn't have all these obstructions. But to show you that it's realistic and that it's going to play just like real golf, I'm going to try and hit it right through this giant clump of trees right here and just see how many times it banks around and bounces off of these trees. Oh, there it went. Banked off of 2 trees. Hitting the hill, and it is rolling down. Well, at least I made the fairway. 82 feet left to the flag itself. I've got no green to work with. There's maybe 1.5 yards from the fringe to the flag. Now, if you are in the fringe, even the slightest little bit, it will make you chip it. So you must get on the green, which is kind of good practice. Right there. Hopefully that'll give me my par. I left it about 6 feet away. If it 1-putts, I'll get a par off of this. And it gave me a 2-putt from 6.3 feet. Now I'm really glad that happened. It gave me a 2-putt from 6 feet. That is something that average golfers go through quite often. Unless you're on the PGA Tour, unless you're like a really great putter, you're not going to make every 6-footer you look at. Some people are not going to make every 2- and 3-footer that they look at. So I'm kind of glad that it gave me a 2-putt there, because a lot of times on this machine, inside of 10 feet, it'll give you 1-putts more often than not. Okay, we've got another par 3 here. It's 161 yards. It's 16 feet down the hill, which is not huge, but it's at least something that you need to consider. Again, the pin is cut on the very back of the green. I don't want to be long. I'd much rather be short. I don't know if 8-iron. I don't know if 8-iron would stay on the green. It may be too long. But then if I hit 9-iron, the 9-iron has a chance of coming up too short if the yardages are not accurate. However, being that I'm at a higher elevation, the pin is down below me a little bit. This is about 10 yards past my normal 9-iron ball flight. So I'm going to hit the 9 and see if the elevation difference and the above sea level difference help me out. Struck well, going a little bit left. Wow, check it. All right, so the total of 166, it leaves me 30 feet away from the hole. Hopefully I get a 2-putt, and I did. I got a 2-putt. I would most likely 2-putt from there. It is on the green. That's pretty great. Now that went 166, was it? I don't know. You help me out. Type in the comments below. I believe it said 166. With a 9-iron, I don't hit my 9-iron that far. So the elevation above sea level and the drop in elevation from tee down to green actually came into play, and it came into play, I think, pretty close to what it would have been in the real world. Now here's another really good test. Normally on this game, when I'm playing at a sea level that is pretty close to what I am here at home, say somewhere between 100 and 700 feet, all right? Then my driver on this machine will go probably around 235 to 240 on average total, which is a little bit below what I expect out in the real world. So I've got it aimed at 235, which is actually a bottleneck in the fairway between 2 bunkers. So that drive ended up going 260 yards. It probably would have gone a little bit further, but it ended up in some rough because I left it out to the right, so I didn't quite get as much roll. But right there, it proves that that elevation above sea level change really does add to it, because if I'd been playing in a different elevation it probably would have been somewhere around the neighborhood of 230 to 235. Well struck, good shot. Oh, look at that. 155. 155 total, left me 16 feet away. It's probably, yep, that's going to give me a 2-putt. So the same 9-iron, both of them struck, I would say, equally well. One flew 166 total and one ended up 156 total. What was the difference? The rough. It gave you an 8 to 10% power deficit for where I was in the rough. So again, that's pretty realistic. It does as it says. We're going to play one more hole here. This is a short par 4, 335 yards. I've got a nice wide fairway. Seems to be pretty level all the way across, but we've got a tuck pin on the left. Let's see if I can get short-sided and miss this green on the left-hand side for my second shot. Right where I was aiming. So 239 total yards. That was a sorry strike. I was 1.34 smash factor. So again, I ended up with an average drive, even though my smash factor was really bad, but because of the elevation change, it ends up going further. Now I've got 98 yards left to a tucked left pin that is 10 feet higher than I am right now out of the fairway. So normally, under this condition, I'd pull out my A wedge and I would hit it probably pretty close to full and I would end up really close to the flag. But with the higher elevation, it's probably going to fly a little bit far. I'm going to let that fly though. I'm going to go ahead and hit a full approach wedge. If I go past the green, maybe I'll get that chip that I can show you guys finally. Struck very well. Going deep. Off the green. Yes, it's off the green. We get to chip finally. Okay. It shows me the white line, sort of if I was going to putt from here, what would happen. Now, I'm obviously not going to putt from here, so the first half of this track, I'm not going to be able to use that. With this chip, I'm on the fringe. It's almost all green, so I could land it quick and let it roll. I could try and fly it most of the way to the hole and try and stop it quick. Being that this is kind of going downhill and then swooping off to the left, I'm not going to try and fly it all the way there. I'm going to try and play it just past on the back side of this mound here toward the right of the flag and then just let it trickle down into it. Probably going to hit a 60 to take some of the roll out of it. I want it to sit kind of easy and gentle. 30 feet. Taking the break, taking the hill, going down 4 feet, inside of 3 foot 11. That leaves me 3 foot 11 away. It's going to give me a 1-putt. Now, that chip was kind of a teddy bear. That was a pushover. That was easy. I was right on the fringe. I had plenty of green to work with. I chipped it out there to probably about 25 feet and let it roll the rest of the way for a total of, I think it was about 38 feet. When you get close, if I had missed on the left-hand side of the green and I had been short-sided, and let's say I only had 5 feet from my ball to the edge of the fringe and then another 5 feet from the fringe to the cup, it gives you a 10-foot chip. That is so super delicate, and when you're in front of this machine, you have to make such a soft little pitch shot that a lot of times when you hit it just like you want to hit it, it's too soft, it won't register. So you have to hit it a little bit firmer than you want to just to get the machine to pick it up, and by the time the ball lands near the flag, it's rolling another 10 or 15 feet past it, and you end up with a 2-putt rather than saving your par, when maybe on course, you wouldn't have been able to putt the shot, or you could have gotten your chip a little bit closer. Guys, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate everything. Leave me a thumbs up down below. Let me know your thoughts. If you have the R10, let me know your thoughts on it. And if you're thinking about it, did this help to convince you to get the R10? Am I crazy? Is this thing not worth it? I've had the most fun with this machine. It's been the best golf purchase I've ever made. Dollar for dollar, this thing rules. See you in the next video.